All right. I'm home waiting for my Colibri M22 delivery. Come on. There we go. This thing has not been used in a while. And the servos are not handling my phone too well. All right. Should be pulling up any minute, actually. Well, I think that's it. There it is.
Arnar, 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 nar, 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 Arnar, 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 nar, 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 nar.
All right, this looks like a good time to talk about the history of Colibri. Colibri is the brainchild of Petre Georgescu. After creating the world's lightest e-bike, the Hummingbird, he wanted to create something closer to a full motorcycle. In November 2021, the first prototype was developed. July 2022, the second prototype road test was done. June 2023, they assembled the alpha prototype. August 2023, they initiated the type approval for street legal use, known as homologization. Then in October 2023, he appeared on the Romanian version of the television show Shark Tank. He was made an offer but felt the ownership percentage was too high. He countered and they did not accept. However, due to that appearance, he was able to quickly secure 6 angel investors and start production development. In October of 2023, production development was started. I know they originally had slated first customer deliveries for around February of 2024. I think the first customer deliveries were about August. They were delayed a little bit, which is, to be expected. I got my shipment in the US a little bit later than I was hoping, and yeah, the summer's pretty much over now, but it is what it is. I'm glad I got it, and no complaints. It's the kind of thing when you put your hopes into a startup like this, honestly, it can go a lot worse than it did. I received the exact product I was expecting at a discounted price, and I have no complaints. I've been following Colibri for a while and decided to jump in towards the end of the offer for the Founders Editions. Part of the reason I jumped in was the modularity of the M22. While the frame and chassis parts are obviously custom fabricated, the controller is an off-the-shelf far driver. The motor is a standard QS motors, 3,000 watt hub motor. QS 205 version 3 is specifically what it is. The dashboard's also just a standard item. To me, this mitigates some of the risk should the company fail in its ultimate goal. Though obviously that's not something I'm hoping for. These folks have my full support. Another reason I took the plunge was their usage of social media and fairly constant updates. They're just very transparent about the whole thing. It's obvious to me that Petre's heart is in this project and he believes in what he's doing and he moves forward with purpose and determination. This isn't just about making a quick buck. He actually cares about what he's doing. It's just obvious. And I'd like to go into a little bit of the evolution of the M22. I'm going to try to go over various incarnations of the bike as well as some of the differences. Personally, I think the final production version is superior to the previous versions, which is obviously how it should be. We also got a few upgrades from the earlier versions: braking, battery density, motor. The dashboard were all upgraded as the builds progressed. Look at the differences in the dashboard. You have this monochrome, non-backlit screen, and now you have a bright, colorful screen you can actually see during the day, which is a huge difference. Version 1, and this is just going by what's available on the internet, obviously. I'm sure there's little sub-versions in between, but version 1 was the proof of concept. This is a rarely seen version. It's a little rough around the edges. The high voltage wiring is visible outside. What looks like a repurposed frame, nothing covering the batteries. It's a literal, true proof of concept built solely for that. And it did its function. It proved that the project could go on. The next version was Prototype 0, sometimes known as the Alpha version. And without interviewing Petre, it's obviously impossible to know if these are all technically Prototype 0, but they're all relatively similar. The earliest versions had a 3D printed LED light assembly, whereas the proof of concept has actually no assembly. It's just LED panels sitting there. And you can see the 3D printed version shown in black. At some point, there was a switch. It looks like there might have been a 3D printed yellow one, possibly. And then they went to maybe a molded yellow light assembly. This is the version with the yellow tank, quote-unquote, highlight at the rear, which would be the battery cover. And of course, no side panels are to be found. Version 3, the beta version. This one looks quite a bit different. The rear round brake light assembly's gone. This is the first appearance of fenders, albeit looking a little bit dirt bike-like with them up that high. Here we have improved brakes, and it looks like the improved hub motor was applied here as well. The beta appears to introduce the close to final version solid black tank. The onboard controller and electronics have also been moved to their final place up front, albeit they're flush mounted. And then version 4, I've seen called the Theta, basically the pre-production version, the near final version. These are likely indistinguishable from the final production versions, other than a few changes. The biggest being Colibri versus Ride Colibri on the battery cover. And the biggest sign, too, is the yellow or red highlights near the front shocks. Those were added to the final Founders batch. I don't believe any of those were shipped black, unless it was matching the black light. So this is the first introduction of the solid sides as well, although they can still be removed. And also the 3 slat edition, which really changes the overall look, in my opinion. I've got to add, too, whoever decided to switch the branding from Colibri to Ride Colibri made the right call. Colibri alone doesn't really tell me what the product is, but Ride Colibri at least gives me an idea of what it could be, and I definitely think that was a good move. So just my initial thoughts on the product. I'm very happy overall with my Founders Edition Colibri M22, number 78. It's exactly what I expected to be, and exactly what I've been watching Petre and Team Colibri work towards for some time. I personally like the unique utilitarian looks it sports, and the rides I've taken with it have been smooth, quiet, and fun. The brakes are effective, although for me, 2-hand brakes versus a rear foot brake takes some getting used to, coming from a pure motorcycle. I understand why, though. It would be too easy to accelerate while braking if it did, in fact, have a foot brake, because you could run your hand for the motor and then also run the foot at the same time, whereas if your rear brake is on the accelerator hand, it's impossible to operate both at once, at least safely. Couple comments about unboxing for those who are receiving their M22s. I would recommend a few things. First, if you have someone else able-bodied who can help utilize them, not only to team lift the thick cardboard cover off, but most importantly, when unstrapping the tie-downs on the pallet, the support box underneath had shifted a bit on my pallet, and when the straps were loosened, the bike wanted to take a dive. So if possible, I just recommend one person hold the bike upright, keeping in mind the handlebars are still kind of loose, while another undoes the straps just for safety. Also, pro tip, keep the support crate/box underneath the bike. It comes in handy. For whatever reason, I personally feel the bike leans over a bit too much while on the kickstand. Should you need or want to do work on your M22, utilizing the crate and kickstand together helps keep it upright. It goes without saying, obviously, you must remove the batteries before doing any work. You've also got yourself a pair of light-duty orange tie-downs as well. So, I mean, they're standard tie-downs. They'll work for anything. And how awesome of them to give you every Allen you would possibly need. And apparently a wrench, too, but I think mine fell out. Everything was packed nicely when I opened it, but the plastic tool bag was all on its own, kind of near the edge of the crate's cardboard. So it's possible it escaped somewhere between Romania and America. Yeah, I will, I'm going to do an updated video once I've got some mileage under it. I think I've cycled the battery through maybe twice. I need to get some range tests in and that sort of thing, although I'm running out of time. It's getting cold here where I live in New England. Although Tuesday's a warm day, I'm actually thinking I'm going to ride to work on the Colibri. So we'll see how that goes. Thank you for watching the video. I appreciate it, and I will keep you updated as far as my final thoughts once I put some mileage on the bike. These are just kind of my initial thoughts in the unboxing. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Oh, wait, am I forgetting something? Yeah, we got to finish that fail of an unboxing, don't we? All right, back to it. Yeah, the delivery guy was actually impressed. We sat there and chatted a few minutes about the bike, and he was first words he exclaimed were, "It's beautiful." And of course, yeah, thanks Amazon guy. Thank you so much for picking the perfect opportune moment to appear in the video, literally exactly as the crate is coming up. Now that's the door Amazon is supposed to deliver to, but of course they'll usually do the side door that we don't want used. But the one time the side door would have been preferred, of course, he's got to come and deliver and block the camera. Literally, as the box is coming up, he's crossing paths. It couldn't have been done better. So yeah, it is what it is. Unboxing fail. Uncrating, whatever you want to call it. So just again, thanks again. Appreciate everybody watching. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you want to catch the next video. I may occasionally post some music stuff here. It is the E.Sings account. But in this case, it's Earl Rides. Until next time.